God, like, do you really, how have we become sociopathic?
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to another episode.
An episode of what, Rose?
The SaVeg podcast.
Yeah, that's correct. Can you not be flailing with your shit over here on the wires?
I'm a very flaily human, Daniel.
I've noticed, guys.
I enjoy a flail.
You do. I've noticed from editing the podcast, guys, that Rose is very much a hand talker, more so than I ever had imagined.
I'll be Italian in a different lab.
I think you might have picked that up when you were living in Milan.
Maybe.
And Rose likes to kind of flail and faff about and, and quite often disconnects the mics.
And Daniel gets very mad at me.
Yeah. And
he is not happy when I disconnect the mics.
It's a point of contention, guys, because it takes a while to set up.
If there's one thing to ruin our friendship, it's going to be a mic situation.
It's going to be Rose.
It's going to be a mic.
Doing this.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode. It has been a while since we recorded a live, well, not really live, but something up to date,
yes.
An up to date episode. Yeah.
And why
nice
is that, Rose?
Well, we were in Costa Rica. Whee!
Yeah, we were in Costa Rica. We were ziplining.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Guys, we went ziplining and I am a chicken shit.
Yeah.
And somehow did it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, you know what I think it was? And it cracked me up a little bit, guys, is like, as we're going to zipline, right? Rose is kind of like talking a big game, like, oh yeah,
I've never talked a big game. Guys, Daniel likes to make things up.
No, but I think
I definitely said I was scared.
Yeah, no.
And I think I've done ziplining before.
Yeah, but the part of the reason why I think you went, because if you would have known how big those zip lines were,
yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone.
You wouldn't have gone. But I think the reason that you went is because you're like, I kind of think I've done ziplining before. It was kind of okay. I'm still scared, and you did say that from the beginning. You're like, I'm still scared.
A little bit different than the way that you described it initially.
But
interesting.
But I have been before, and so we start, and the way this zipline set up, guys, is it's like the first like 4 zip lines are like a little bit. They're like smaller, kind of baby zip lines, if you will.
And they're not even baby though.
I know.
They're still pretty big.
Yeah. Well, the first one was really small, and then it starts to get like kind of longer, and then you have to like rappel down this tree,
which was also scary.
Which was pretty scary.
Because they're like, yeah, just like lean back. And the leaning back is basically
falling.
Yeah. But like it is slow. Like once you lean back, immediately it's slow. But like just that feeling of leaning back into air.
Yeah. But then you finish that, you go back up the stairs, and then there's a big sign that says you're now about to start the long zip lines.
Yes.
And you can't return after you do the first long zip line. And I remember Rose, you looking like, what? Like what?
Now we're starting the long zip lines?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? I thought those ones were the long ones.
Yeah, because we were told there's gonna be a few like tester zip lines.
Yeah.
And already some of them were pretty long.
Yeah.
So longer than any of the ones that I think I've ever done. So I was like, okay, I think I'm okay because I've done a few now. It's like, okay, we've done a few long ones. And then we get to the actual long one.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the first long one. And that was 750. Was it 750 meters?
So I think the first one was 600 meters.
I thought it was more.
No, because I remember the second one was like more than double.
Yeah, second one was 1450 or 1500.
It was like
so I think it was 700.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. It was like
very long.
It was pretty long, and I remember Rose finishing that one too. And there's a video that I took of Rose getting off, and she was just like,
I was so scared.
And then I freaked out because then we got to the next one where it's like, you're now about to do the longest one ever. It's like
and that one was
double
1,500 meters.
Yeah, and I was like
1,500, guys.
I was like, Rose is gonna kill me.
It was so long.
Yeah,
and it's so high up. So you're like I mean, it is very cool because it's like you're like flying.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like you're flying, but also you're like scared shitless. You're like, oh my god. It's the longest zip line in Latin America.
Yeah.
I did not know that before I signed up for this.
And then on the very last one after this, that one's still like another 800 meters, this last one. and you actually get hooked up like a Superman kind of. So you go like as if you're flying literally through the air.
Well, you're kind of like basically on your stomach.
Yeah.
And you're like Superman,
Yeah.
like you're flying. And I thought, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Superman because I think it'll be fine. Because one of the hard parts about ziplining, I don't know if you guys have gone ziplining, but it's basically you kind of have to control yourself on the zip line.
Yeah.
So you're kind of controlling the speed. And if you like push down too much, then you could potentially like stop.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of fucked because then somebody has to come and like rescue you.
I know.
So anyway, so I was like very much like half the time I was scared and half the time I'm like, don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up. So then I was like, you know what? The Superman thing is probably going to be great because I don't have to control anything.
Yeah.
But it was the scariest shit ever. That one was the scariest one for me.
Really?
Yes. Because you're like dangling and there's like no control whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you're just like laying there. And then when they set you up, especially, they basically like lay you down and then they're like, okay, so now put your hands behind your back. And I was like, I can't let go of this rope.
Yeah.
But I had to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was very fucking scary. You okay there?
Yeah.
And then I thought I was going to fall because it was kind of like windy as well. Oh.
And it was like rainy, like kind of
Yeah.
misty rain. So it was like not the best conditions to do it either.
It wasn't too bad because
Yeah.
like at one point I saw a rainbow and that was very cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was very cool, very scary, not for the faint-hearted.
No. So the real question is, Rose, if you go, well, not if, when you go on another destination, if there's zip lining available, will you do it again?
Well, I've already done the longest one in Latin America, so I might do it again.
Yeah. I mean, you've already, like, the thing is,
It's not so bad.
yeah. This is the thing for me because I've done zip lining quite a few times now. Like I did one in Canada, I did one in like I did a couple in Central America. So when I started, like when we were doing this trip, I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine to zip line. Even though that long one was really scary because it was so big.
Yeah.
But like once you've zip lined, I feel like you kind of are used to it, and it's like not as scary anymore. You've kind of done it.
Yeah.
Versus like there was one element that we could do extra if we wanted to called the Tarzan jump.
Yeah, so that I skipped.
Yeah.
Which
And
I'm glad I skipped.
that was fucking terrifying, guys. Like, it was so scary. You're like on a bridge up in this trees, and you're like in this
You're
metal,
super high up.
and you're in this metal like crate that they open the door.
Oh
Like
my God.
this thing, and then like literally you just have a rope in front of you, like attached to your like
Yeah,
self.
but it's very safe.
Yeah,
But it's still fucking scary.
it's so scary. And then they're just like, you need to step off. And I was like, step off. And then I told the guys, I was like, look, there's no way I'm stepping off this platform. You got to push me. So they actually they pushed me off.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
I saw so the thing is, because I wasn't doing the Tarzan one, which was the last one,
Yeah.
I had to like leave, which I was kind of sad about because I kind of wanted to watch you guys do the Tarzan.
Yeah.
But I saw videos and it was like this because the reason I didn't do Tarzan is because there's like a free fall, right?
Yeah.
And I can't do a free fall. Okay.
I kind of wish you did it just so
No,
I could have heard you
there's
scream.
no way I would have done
and-
it. There's no way I would have done it.
Yeah.
I draw the line at Tarzan.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't have let them just push you off?
No, never. I can't do a free fall. That's the thing. That's the one thing I can't do.
Yeah.
I can do a zip line because it's not going super fast. Okay. And it's not giving me that feeling in the stomach.
Right.
Where your stomach turns. I hate that feeling
Yeah.
with a passion. And I'm like, how do people, this is why I can't do roller coasters.
Right.
I'm like, how do people ride roller coasters for fun? I will never understand. It's always been torture for me. And people always try to convince me that it's going to be a good time.
I like roller coasters.
And it's never a fucking good time. They're like, oh no, you'll be fine. No, it's never a good time.
The ride that I hate is the one that takes you up and then drops you.
The drop of doom.
Yeah, the drop of
Oh my
doom.
God. One time, somebody tried to, I think I was in junior high or something. I went to Stampede, which is basically a carnival.
Yeah.
And my friends were trying to get me to go on the drop of doom. And I literally sat down on the ground and I was like, I'm not going. Because they were trying to drag me on it. And I was like, there is no way on God's green earth I'm going on the drop of doom.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you never will.
And I never will.
You will never experience
That's
that
how
in
I feel
your
about
entire life.
Tarzan. And I am completely fine with never experiencing the fear of death.
And see, for me, the only reason that I wanted to do it, like my own personal reason.
Which one? Tarzan or Drop of Doom?
Tarzan.
Have you done Drop of Doom?
Yes.
And?
I mean, I don't like it. Like, that I don't enjoy, but I did do it. I was like, oh,
Okay.
Fuck it. I also
You're
just
good
like,
with roller coasters and stuff, though.
yeah, I'm usually okay with
You enjoy
it.
those.
Yeah, like roller coasters, I like certain rides. I do like that feeling sometimes when your stomach feels like it's
Oh,
lifting.
I don't understand.
But for me, the reason I did the Tarzan jump, because I almost didn't do it. I like went to the front and then I went back and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Because it was so fucking scary. But I was like, I want to push myself. Because like for me, the zip lining part, like I didn't actually have to push myself. Like I was like, it was a little bit scared, but I was like, I can do this. Like it's not a big deal. Whereas this one, I was like, holy fuck. I actually, this is a challenge for me.
Yeah. Would you ever do like bungee jumping?
So I don't think I would do bungee jumping.
Because that was kind of like a bungee jump.
It was sort of, yeah. I think bungee jumping for me would be out just because like I've like I don't know, I feel like it's really dangerous. Whereas like I think I'd rather do like
the Tarzan is less dangerous.
I think so, yeah. Because bungee
based on what, Daniel?
Based on
absolutely no
scientific evidence. But I think I would do like maybe like skydiving.
Because that's very safe.
I think it's safer.
Again, do you have any statistics to back this up?
I have a full statistical analysis. Actually, I did my thesis on this. So I'll send it over to you, Rose.
Anyway, guys, before we get started with the stories, we have to thank a new Patreon.
Yes.
So we would like to thank Lily for joining our Patreon. And why should people join our Patreon, Daniel?
Well, first of all, welcome to the family, Lily. Why you should join, guys. You get all of the episodes a week earlier than everyone else. We do an exclusive Patreon-only episode. As well, all the content on there, guys, is ad-free, so you don't have to worry about ads or anything like that. And you get to join kind of the little community that we're growing there.
There you go. Anyway, any more notes about Costa Rica?
I mean, the one thing I have to say, it's not like a negative. Like I really enjoyed Costa Rica, and I think the jungle was really beautiful, and there's some really beautiful elements. But like, it's just expensive.
I knew you were gonna say.
Like I to be fair, every time I'd been before, I'd been with my grandparents, and they kind of like paid for a lot of stuff for me, so I don't really remember. But just like.
And also, it probably gotten more expensive in the last few years.
100%.
Too, like everywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fair. It was like very expensive.
And I know this sounds a little bit like, what's the word? Like, you know, when we go to like cheaper countries to like
it sounds
travel?
like we're entitled or something.
Exactly. But like, you know, for example, you go to certain countries and it's just like in general, stuff is just cheaper there.
Yes.
And again, they get paid less. Like it's all equivalent to like salaries and all that kind of stuff. And like, I just feel like Costa Rica like didn't make sense. Like
I know, I didn't understand it because I'm like, are they actually making this much?
But this is the question.
This was expensive for us coming from North America.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you local people okay? Like, are you making money? Because this is like really expensive. It was like Canadian prices. 100%. Basically. Some of it more.
Yeah. I looked at my like credit card statement, guys.
Oh God.
And I was like looking at like just like going out for dinner and stuff. Like, so we went out for a few meals that wasn't included in the tour. and you know, we went to some really cool vegan restaurants and stuff. So maybe the vegan food's a little bit more expensive. I don't know. But like most of the time it was like $30-$40 for like a meal. I feel like so, and I was like,
that's like minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, that feels like actually kind of on par with Canada. You know,
Yeah.
you go out, you get a drink here or 2 drinks and a meal, you're going to pay like $40-$50.
Yeah. Well, part of me was kind of like, what do you call it? Not glad that it was expensive.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay. So then people got a good deal on the tour.
Right.
Because the tour wasn't that bad. I think it was like, what was it? $2,500 per person. And which is like a little bit more than Southeast Asia, obviously. Southeast Asia is very cheap.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I was like, actually, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Judging, you know, because we got a bunch of meals included and stuff and accommodation, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, it was like expensive.
It's crazy. Like even like if you get a cocktail or like anything, it was
cocktail
like
minimum $10.
Yeah.
Also the hotels, because like we stayed like a few days after.
Yeah.
And yeah, like all the hotels were at least, well, I guess it's not too bad, but like 150 Canadian dollars, which would be like what, 120 American? Something like that? Maybe 100. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Canadian dollars so bad.
God.
That's also probably why it was even more expensive.
Yeah, because a lot of the places they would charge you in US dollars. Because I think a lot of people from the US go to Costa Rica. And so a lot of stuff would just be like priced in colones, which is their currency, or in US dollars. And even like little souvenirs like
oh my God, the souvenirs were ridiculous.
I know. And even we would go to like not the super tour. Obviously, souvenirs are touristy no matter what. But like, you know, there's some places that are super expensive. Yeah. We would go to like some of the like local or more local shops, and it was still like I got a little wooden figurine for my parents because I always get them figurines and stuff, and it was like $9.
Oh my God, this is why I don't buy souvenirs.
I know, and I was just like, I got a magnet. I think that was like $8. I was like, this is like painful.
Yeah, so it's like very expensive. But our theory is that because we had a lengthy discussion.
We did,
this,
we did.
And our theory is that it's out of the Central American, it is Central America, right? Yeah. Central American countries, it's like relatively safer.
Yeah.
So a lot more people go to Costa Rica.
Right.
So I think, especially from like the US, for example. So I think it's like, you know, because of US tourism,
Yeah.
it's, you're paying a premium. Exactly.
It's drove up the price. But I just I wonder like how it is for the locals, right?
I know.
Because like, if we're staying in Canada, like, and again, I'm not like trying to like, but we're on Canadian salaries, right? So, pretty good, decent money. Like, I wonder what the salaries are like in Costa Rica. And maybe it's really good too. Like, I don't know, right? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
We'll
hard.
see. Who
and
knows?
and also it was like some of the infrastructure, like,
it felt like this is bad, but it felt like it was developed. Like, that's the thing. It didn't feel like the cost made sense.
Yeah. Like
compared to the infrastructure.
Exactly. Like, you go to like Singapore, for example.
Yes.
You are like, okay, Singapore's expensive, but you see why it's expensive because you're like, whereas like other countries.
It makes sense.
It does. It makes sense. And then you go to other places that are like, developing. This sounds so bad.
Why? God, the world is very sensitive nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a bad thing to say it's a developing country.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a bad thing.
It's
not a bad thing.
Yeah, I think it's not even.
They're probably happier than people in developed countries. Let's just put it that way.
I think it's just more. It just didn't seem to make sense for the country. Like, you go to some countries and you like expect. Like, you go to Sweden, you go to Norway.
Yeah.
You go to like all these countries. You go to Thailand. You kind of know what to expect. And Costa Rica, you're like, okay, it's in Central America.
Yeah.
Like, these are the countries around it. Like, you kind of expect a certain thing, and then for it to be on par pretty much with Canada's prices.
Maybe we just went to very touristy locations, and I think if you go to other places where it's just locals, it's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
But even then, I doubt that like locals are, living very comfortably with these, prices.
Yeah. Well, even that, well, to be fair, that local bar that we did go to that one night,
it was a bit cheaper.
But not much.
Not by much. Like, their local beer was, I think, $3 US.
$3 US, yeah.
Whereas in other places it would be like $5 US for like their cheapest local beer.
Yeah.
But then still the cocktails were about $10,
True.
which again, it's cheaper than the US, where nowadays we're paying $18 for a cocktail.
That's true.
But
when you convert to Canadian, it's
my God, this is the thing. That's also a big issue. It's because Canadian dollar is so bad that when we travel, and especially if we're paying something like US dollars, it's like extra bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And this is why I don't get, like, because a lot of the roles that you have in Canada, if you work in the US, you actually make like more money.
Yeah.
Like dollar for dollar or whatever. And I'm just like, I feel like because Canada is like really expensive and our dollar's weaker, we should be making a bit more. You know what I mean? But like, anyway, guys, I digress.
We should be making more, but I don't know. But Canadian economy is just not as
vibrant.
Well, we're like 10%, like population-wise, we're 10% of the United States.
Yeah.
Whereas we have this giant country, and it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
guys,
wow, that was a long start to the video or to the podcast. So, first story.
Let's hear it, Rose.
So, guys, have you heard this? Oh my God, you haven't seen this clip? Daniel, you're really good at staying off the internet. I'm actually very proud of you.
I make it my life mission. It's my goal for 2024.
I am not good at staying off the internet, and I've seen so much of this clip. So basically, TikTok CEO, he is this man. His name is Xiaozi Chu. Okay, he is the CEO of Chinese-owned social media app TikTok. Okay, and then I guess they had this hearing, this you know how, like,
first of all, can I just stop there for 2 seconds?
Okay, what are you gonna ask?
I'm surprised, and this might again come off really bad though. I'm surprised that China would own a social media app.
I don't think China owns a social media app. I think it's owned by a Chinese corporation.
Like Chinese, but still like a Chinese corporation even, because in China, they're really restricted around what they can do on social media.
Yeah, I don't really know how that works.
Yeah. Because I know
it started in China.
Yeah, I know, like, from friends of mine that are from China, like mainland China, like they can't even, like, some of them. I don't know what it's like now.
But they're strict when it comes to foreign social media apps, but they have their own social media apps that are really huge.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. I mean, obviously not TikTok, but like they have other ones that like exclusively basically Chinese people use.
Yeah.
And they're like gigantic.
Massive.
Because I mean, think about China. It's a fucking gigantic country with so many people. So even if they just cater to China, it's huge.
It's a billion
people.
So
yeah, they're not against like social media.
Yeah.
I think they might just have restrictions against other forms of social media. I don't know.
Okay. But anyway,
so basically, they had this hearing, okay, with, I don't know, I think there was like a few social media companies like X.
So
like
dumb.
Meta. Oh my God, I hate these. Anyway.
Who is naming these fucking companies?
I don't know. It sounds very dystopian as well. Oh, I'm the CEO of X.
Well, I'm going to start a company and it's going to be called Beta.
I love it. So basically, I guess they were having some kind of hearing, and the CEO of TikTok was getting interrogated basically by a U.S. senator. Okay. And this part of this hearing went viral because basically this U.S. senator named Tom Cotton repeatedly asked the CEO of TikTok, who is Singaporean, he kept asking if he is Chinese. So basically he was like, so what country do you hold a citizenship of? And he'd be like, Singapore.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, do you have a Chinese citizenship? And then he would say, no, I'm Singaporean. And he would say, are you affiliated with the Chinese government? And then he's like, because basically what they're trying to do is saying they just don't want anything related to China, right? Because like, you know how US and China,
they're not best friends.
They're not best friends.
Yeah.
So basically he just kept, I think he asked like 5 times. The guy kept saying, I'm Singaporean. I'm from Singapore.
Yeah.
He said, I served in the Singaporean army. He goes, are you affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? And then he's like, no, sir, I'm Singaporean.
Yeah.
And he goes, have you ever been affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? And then he just keeps going on about the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
Asks a million times about his citizenship, his passport, his link to the Chinese Communist Party, blah, blah, blah. And that went viral.
God damn.
Because apparently he doesn't know that Singapore is a country.
Oh my, it's embarrassing. And
It's
also
so embarrassing.
I think the thing is it's more, again, like just, it's just bad.
Like so racist.
Like it is, because if I ask someone, like, you know, I can see, like, you know, obviously just from visual, like, again, you can't judge a book by its cover, but like visually, like he looks like he might be from China. So
He
like,
could be, yes, he's
exactly.
Asian.
So, and actually, you know, there's a lot of like Chinese people in Singapore too. Like it's like a,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like a multicultural kind of country. Okay?
Exactly. But if someone tells you, like if someone's like, hey, Daniel, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from Canada, for example. And then they're like, oh, well, but
Yeah.
you look like you're from, I don't know,
France.
France. How are you not French? And then I'm like, no, I'm Canadian. Like, just listen to what the people are saying. You know what I mean?
I feel like he literally just is like Asian man, China.
Yeah.
But I also find it funny, even just the whole premise of like, even if he was Chinese.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that matter? You know,
Exactly.
like that. It's just weird to like
what point was he trying to get
exactly
at with
like
this?
why do you even ask if he's Chinese? Why is that relevant? And because they're like basically trying to be like, oh, you're sharing your data, user data with the Chinese government or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? I hate this whole, oh, TikTok is owned by China. So, oh my God, like you should be worried about your data. You should be worried about your data regardless.
And that's a really good point,
Yeah.
Russ, because like, let's call a spade, guys. All of these social media companies, including, you know, YouTube, TikTok, X, Meta, all of these,
Beta.
their business is user data.
That's their entire business.
And so any company that or any free site, dating sites, even the you know, again, they get all these people's information.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think they're doing with it?
Exactly.
Like TikTok's not alone. Like all of these companies, like
I know. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should just be afraid of China.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, I mean,
Anyway, you should watch that video.
I need to see it. I'm going to watch
It's so
it.
funny. I'm from Singapore. Are you affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? No, I'm Singaporean. Do you have a Chinese passport? No, I served in the Singaporean army. Do you also have a Chinese? Just come on.
You know what I would have done at that point, though? And obviously he's like being careful with how he's saying things, but I'd be like, do you know that Singapore is a country? Do you know that like there are other countries in Asia
aside from China?
Like there is a lot of countries in there. I could be from a lot of different fucking countries.
Oh my God.
It's
so
crazy.
dumb. Well, United States, you know, they're not the best with geography.
United States of America.
Okay. And have you heard about this story?
What?
I know. So explorers think they have found Amelia Earhart's long lost plane. Not everyone is convinced.
Okay, so there's some skeptics.
Skeptics. There are some skeptics.
Yeah.
But explorers think they might have finally found the wreckage of Amelia Earhart's plane. And then basically, is this the end of an 87-year mystery?
Well,
yeah.
It's interesting because I know that Amelia
I think it's Earhart.
Earhart,
but it's spelled like Earhart.
Yeah, Earhart. It is Earhart. I don't even know what I'm trying to. Yeah. But obviously, famously went missing
Yes. So if you guys don't know, Earhart was a record-breaking pilot in her lifetime, having become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic in 1932. But she went missing during an attempted round-the-world flight in 1937 during a roughly 4,400-kilometer hop from Papua New Guinea to Howland Island in the central Pacific Ocean. So her story was like insane because she literally just disappeared.
Yeah. But this is the scary thing because this still happens today. Like,
yeah.
Remember those, I think it was Malaysian Airlines or something?
Oh, God.
Where, like one or two of their planes, and these were commercial planes, just fucking
that
disappeared.
shit is fucking scary.
I know, but it goes to show you, like, I do feel like, and I'm a strong believer in this, and I could pull up,
Bermuda Triangle?
no. I could probably pull up stats, but I do feel like a lot of these individuals that take, and I think Amelia Earhart's plane was like one of those smaller, like,
yes.
planes.
Yeah,
I feel
which is
like,
more dangerous.
Exactly. It's more susceptible to like weather things. But at the end of the day, the weather patterns can get fucking insane. And if you're on a commercial flight, it could still happen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's like rarer for it to happen. And I think what's kind of scary is the fact that like people can like disappear without a trace. Like, and
because the ocean is so vast.
I know. I saw this thing just the other day, speaking of the ocean, that was like showing how deep the ocean was.
Oh, God. Why do you do this to yourself?
It was insane, guys. Like, we know, I think it's like we know more about the surface of the moon than we do.
We know more about space than we know the ocean.
Yes.
That's what they say.
That is so scary. Like, it's just like a plethora of deepness.
Well, it must, like, okay, if you think about it, Earth is like this, right? Is it just ocean in the middle there?
No. Bro.
Like, what is going on?
So, okay. Little Earth lesson for you,
Okay,
Rose.
tell me that.
Okay, I'm guys. I probably get some of this wrong, but
What's in the very middle of the Earth?
so there's like a core, and I can't remember what the core is. But then around the core is like lava,
Right.
and then all around the lava is like tectonic plates. Because you know how the whole world.
Did I have a blonde moment?
You did. The whole world is kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like floating on these like plates. And then when they hit each other, for example, they create mountains and things like that.
Right.
And that's why they say like over time, like for example, California is on a separate plate than the US or something.
Right.
So eventually they could split. And like
Daniel.
things like earthquakes, volcanoes, that's when there's like a break and some of the lava like comes up, I guess.
You're so smart, Daniel.
And it like, does its thing.
So lava is below the ocean? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like so the ocean's also on these plates. And then the lava's like underneath.
Is this true?
Yeah. Look.
Is this fact?
Here, let me show you.
Yeah, show me. Where you learn these?
In school, Rose. None of us were paying attention.
Clearly, I was not paying attention during Earth lessons.
Hang on, I want to see if they have like a... Oh, hang on.
Show me like an image. Maybe there's like an image. What is in the center of the Earth? The Earth's core is the very hot, very dense center of, oh my God, that looks so terrifying.
Here we go. This is a good example.
How have I not looked this up?
So you have the core, right? And then you have this layer out.
Mm.
And all around are like plates. Is what we're
Okay, you need to be on the...
Yeah. So you can see, Rose, that like this, so the center is like this like hot core like thing. And essentially... There we go. There's like lava, and then on top of the lava, there's like a crust that like essentially is what we're all on. Isn't that fucking
and then
crazy?
Where's the ocean?
The ocean is like the ocean is on the crust as well. Like think about it. It's as if the lava inside is sealed under a rock, like the rock, and then we're all on this rock on the outside.
Oh my God.
And then the water's also there and everything else. And
It's so weird.
like, is that not creepy that we're floating on lava?
Creepy.
Like we are floating on lava right now.
It's creepy.
Like it's crazy.
It's very creepy.
But anyway, I remember learning this in like, I don't know, school at some point.
Clearly, I don't remember anything.
That doesn't surprise me. No.
Clearly, I'm not smarter than a fifth grader.
No. But I just remember because this stuff like trips me out. And
Yeah.
also thinking about how unknown the ocean is. But then also we have like the Earth's core.
You know, sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I
Like-
was very blissful until I found this out.
Yeah. That we're like, oh, not only are we like floating like a speck of dust in the air in the solar system.
Oh my God.
We're also like on a magma lava thing.
Anyway, Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
So she disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody, she was never found.
Yeah.
No trace of Earhart, her navigator.
Or her plane.
Yeah. Like nobody found her. Okay.
Yeah.
And now, okay, like recently.
They think they found it.
And now in recent days, like the last few days, I think.
Yeah.
A deep sea exploration company says it may have found the wreckage of Amelia Earhart's plane, reigniting a mystery, blah, blah, blah. So basically, I think like there's this like picture, which kind of looks like nothing for us.
I know. I was like,
So Deep Sea Vision has released a sonar image of what appears to be an airplane on the Pacific seabed. And the CEO says there's a good chance it could be the wreckage of Amelia Earhart. Now, it looks like nothing.
I know. And I'm like, also, how many planes are at the bottom of the ocean?
Well, I think they said that it was like part of the flight path. So
Right.
they think that's why. I think that's
Okay.
the reason. But who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah.
Listen to this. He says, okay, like I guess this team, I don't know if the exhibition was to find Amelia Earhart's plane, but he said his team apparently examined her flight path, altitude, flying conditions reported on that day. They also looked at 6 radio calls that Earhart had made during the flight, during which she reported that she was running low on fuel. Each one of these radio calls gives us an important clue as to what she was doing and what time
and what she was thinking.
And what she was thinking, her intentions. Using that information to define a search area, so they were looking, I guess.
Oh, so they were looking. Okay.
Spent 3 months combing roughly 13,000 square kilometers of ocean floor with a state-of-the-art submersible craft.
We love a submersible.
We do. You know, for only $1 million, you could have joined them, Rose. The result is a sonar image of something resting 5,000 meters below the surface, which Romeo, who I guess was leading this exhibition, says is a similar size and shape as Earhart's plane.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. Some people are doubtful.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be Earhart. It could not be.
The question that I have is I wonder with our current technology if we're able to get down to 5,000 meters. Because I know there's a certain level that we can get down to.
Right.
And I can't remember what it is. Because once you go past it, the pressure of the water crushes.
Yeah, like we've learned. Jesus, I'm learning a lot about the ocean these days.
But you know, when you think about it conceptually, because at first I was like, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, like when you're in the water, like you're swimming, technically all of that water is above you, right? You're holding that water, even though it's like
it's water.
It's water. So
but there is a weight to the water.
Exactly. And the weight's above you, right? So that's why you feel that pressure. And the deeper you go, the more water that's on top of you.
So then you just get crushed.
Exactly.
And that's how you implode.
Yeah. And think about how heavy water is. Like if you took a bucket of water and just held it above your head and people put more water in there.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? A fly. If you like pour water on the fly, it, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they said the result is the sonar image of something resting 5,000 meters below the surface, meaning that they can't get to it, but they have like an image of it.
Right.
So that's why the image looks like shit, because they actually can't get to it.
Which I'm like, I'm sorry guys. Like
it looks like just like bright yellow, but apparently, I mean, we might not be able to tell what it is, but these experts, maybe they know, or maybe they're just trying to get headlines.
I mean, it's guys, you need to Google this to look at the image. I feel like it could be anything at this point. And also the thing that's, if we can't get down to 5,000 meters, there's no way to prove it.
There's no way to prove it.
Yeah.
There's no way, like, you know.
Unless you can get a clear image.
Well, maybe one day we'll have the technology to even go below the surface.
Oh, it's so creepy down
there.
there.
Get to the ocean floor.
Well, there's some parts that get to the bottom of the Marinas Trench or whatever.
Has anyone gotten down there?
It's too deep.
It's impossible.
It's too deep.
Oh, God damn, Daniel.
Like it will like literally crush you instantly.
Oh, God.
Like you can only get to a certain point.
And how far is that point? Do we know?
Let's see.
Well, apparently so. I mean, apparently I don't know anything about the Earth. And I just realized how stupid that question was. What?
So I guess the deepest we can go right now.
Well, the deepest someone has gone.
Yeah.
So, let's see. In 1960, the Babbitt Scaff Trieste, carrying 2 men, set a world record by diving to the bottom of it. Okay. The onboard systems indicated a depth of 37,800 feet, which is 11,521 meters. But this was later corrected to basically 10,916 meters by taking into account variations arising from salinity and temperature. Yeah. So apparently we can go
quite deep.
So
if this is 5,000 meters, it sounds like we can kind of get down there.
Potentially.
So but maybe they need funding to go down there to see if it's Amelia Earhart's plane.
Well, if we did it in 1960. Yeah, that seems like that is the deepest point that a man or a human has ever gone. That's pretty scary. I guess basically you would have to have a very good device.
Yeah. You have to have a device that withstands that pressure.
Yes.
Because the deeper you go, and this is why we can only get to a certain depth.
Yes.
Is it becomes the pressure of the water on the device becomes so pressurized that it just will like literally
it's so crazy.
crumple it.
And like I didn't even know this until the Titanic submersible situation.
Yeah. Well, and there's actually animals that live down in there.
Yeah, there's like creatures.
Yeah.
They're
creepers.
creepy.
Oh.
They're creepy, but also really cool.
They are. Like, I like the one that has the light in front of it.
I don't even know. I've seen some crazy ass fucking fish.
There's like a fish, guys, that has like a light that like floats in front of its face because it's so because no.
So dark.
Yeah, because actually once you get to a certain level of water, the sunlight no longer penetrates through, so it just becomes, it becomes
just pure pitch black.
Oh, that's like my biggest fear, guys. You
so
know what I said about
mermaids are real.
Oh God, they could be.
They could be. There could be a whole civilization down there.
Yeah, that we have no idea. And it's plausible.
Yeah.
Because
and who knows what's and also like here's what's fucking crazy to me. How did we ever discover the surface of the fucking earth or like what's in the goddamn earth core?
Yeah.
Like who's like, hello, like somehow I found out it's lava.
I think that they have drilled down really far.
How have we come up with this? And somehow we can't fight climate change?
Yeah, well.
Come on. We're this smart, but we can't fucking figure out climate change?
We smart, but we also stupid, Rose. We're
Truer words have never been spoken.
Driven by greed.
Absolutely. Speaking of greed, next story. Before the Boeing disaster. So guys, Boeing is under a lot of fire in the last few years because there's been very many
safety issues. Yeah.
Most recently and most notably the door that flew off while the plane was leaving.
Rose, like what? Just from your perspective, right?
Oh my God.
Had you been on that flight,
I would have shit my pants. I would have thought I was dying. I would have called my parents crying.
And the thing is, I know that Rose isn't over exaggerating because Rose is a very like animated person. So I feel like,
what would you do?
I would be just calm, cool, and
Oh
collected.
yeah, you're just gonna sit there. Yeah. No problem.
No, I would have freaked out. I would have been like, holy fuck.
But you know what's crazy? Like when you watch the footage of that video, when after the fucking door flew off, everyone's just sitting there like so calm. I'm sure they're freaking out inside, but like no one is freaking out.
Yeah. Well, I'd make sure that my seatbelt was on properly. I would like grab all my things to hope it doesn't get sucked out of the plane.
Yeah, because your things are the most important thing in that situation, Daniel. Priorities, please.
I know.
No, but the good thing is because it was taking off, people were wearing their seatbelts. Thank God.
Because if they weren't, you could literally
be sucked out.
Exactly, because what happens is the airplane creates like this like vacuum or something.
Yes.
Where like if like for example,
because you're going so fast.
Exactly. If a window smashes, things can get sucked out.
Yeah.
If the door flies off, things can get sucked out.
It's so scary. So basically, before the Boeing disaster, the company lobbied lawmakers to deregulate airplane safety.
Of course they did. Why did they want to do this, Rose?
For profit?
Yes.
So despite allegations of excessive defects ahead of the recent Boeing disaster, the company and its parts supplier, Spirit Aerosystems, used their deep pockets to lobby Washington to reduce safety regulations. This is so crazy.
Yeah, like why are they doing this? I mean, I know why they're doing it, but like why?
Oh my God, like do you really, how have we become sociopathic? The manufacturers of the door plug that blew out of a jetliner last week have used their deep pockets and connections in Washington, D.C. to reduce safety regulations, pressure federal officials, and boost production after 2 previous crashes and other safety incidents. So this is what's wrong with lobbyists.
Yeah.
The campaign donations, lobbying money, and regulatory waivers underscore critics' assertions that Boeing and its longtime parts supplier, Spirit Aerosystems, have used their political influence in both parties to endanger air passengers. This is fucking terrifying. Because it's like, again, this is why we have regulations. This is why we have government. This is why we have oversight. But when you have companies or industries that are in bed with the government, this is when safety issues always will arise because they will pay politicians to basically get rid of, or like deregulate or under-regulate safety.
And the only reason they want to do this again is corporate greed. It's like,
because they want to get things done faster.
Yep. They want to
wanna
make
get
more
things
money.
Approved, because the thing is, like, it is obviously time consuming. Like, let's say you have a plane and then there's like some like little issue, and it might seem like a little issue.
Yeah.
So then you kind of just want to sweep it under the rug. But then the government should be coming in and saying, no, actually you have to fix this before you can fly it, which obviously delays the process, which obviously costs the company more money, but it's for a fucking good reason.
Yeah.
It's a plane. Oh my God. It is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay. And Boeing is like the only plane manufacturer I know.
Well, there's more than one.
I know, but
they're a big
that's
one.
the main
They're
one.
huge. I think like
I can't even think of another one.
I think most of the Canadian airlines all use
Yes.
Boeing.
Like, name another one.
Well, I can't think off the top of my
Exactly.
head. I don't know the airline. I'm not in
I
bed
know,
with the
but
airline industry.
Yeah, but like Boeing is the only one I can think of. Like, if
Yeah.
you had asked me what's an airplane manufacturer, I would say Boeing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else.
True.
It's like the most prominent one, or at least
It's the one. It's the household name.
It's the household name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Kleenex.
But also, it's just like, you think that this would also reflect poorly on them in the press when it's like people are finding out that they're actually lobbying for decreased safety regulations. Like,
Yeah, but then because this is what I mean, because they're so powerful, they probably don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to do? Like look at the fucking, I mean, I might actually start doing this, but am I going to just check which airplane manufacturer made the plane that I'm about to ride? People are flying all the time.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect, them doing this. Like, who cares? They're probably like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, because of all of this, they've had lots of like safety issues in the last few years. I think some people died. Look, let's see.
Two crashes in 2018 and 2019 that together killed 346 people. Another fatal incident in 2018 that saw a woman partially sucked out of the plane.
Oh my God.
When a small engine explosion shattered a window.
This is what we mean. Okay.
This is fucking scary.
Let's see. So there's allegations from Spirit employees of excessive defects in the supplier's manufacturing. According to the court documents, that workers said they were instructed to conceal the problems. Some workers spoke up, were fired. So yeah, we're basically fucked because, like, are you actually fucking kidding me? This is why it should be illegal. This is corruption.
Yeah, this is so bad.
I don't understand how this is legal. This is literal corruption when you can lobby politicians.
It's not good.
It's not good. So, this article goes on, but basically Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell, who received nearly $200,000 in contributions from Boeing's Political Action Committee and employees, pushed through legislation to exempt Boeing's 737 MAX models, which is like the one that has all the issues, from a looming safety deadline that would have required changes in their alerting systems. So basically, she got $200,000 and she's like, you can be exempt from this safety deadline. The move came despite concerns from the families of the passengers who died in 2018 and 2019 crashes. So this is literally psychopathic.
Yeah. Over the last 4 years, Boeing and Spirit's political action committees, and the fact that they have a political action division in their company speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Have together reported spending more than $65 million on lobbying and federal campaign contributions.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, $65 million. Can't you just use that money for the safety? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like, how much more could it be?
Well, I don't know.
Like
Maybe it's a lot more. Like maybe we're
$65 million.
some things are so expensive now, Rose. Okay, when they build anytime they're doing something, they're like, oh my God, like we're gonna build this new like bridge and shit. It's gonna be like $2 billion.
Oh my God, but still $65 million.
Yeah. It's crazy. But
and this is like safety, it's not the building of the airplanes that we're talking about. We're talking about safety regulations
and standards.
Oh my God.
Be scary as hell.
So basically, I'm trying to avoid the Boeing 737 MAX planes.
But I think that's a lot of airlines use those planes, Rose.
I think so. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to die. How many planes? Oh my God. Okay. So the most, the Boeing 737 is a narrow body aircraft manufactured by Boeing and blah, blah, blah. It is the most produced aircraft in commercial aviation.
There you go, Rose. I mean, maybe the 737 is slightly different than the 737 MAX that they're talking about. I don't know. I'm not a...
Well, it's all Boeing.
Yep. I'm not an aviation
So it's terrifying.
expert. Yep.
This is what I mean. It's not. So that's what I mean by, oh, is it going to have bad PR on their end? Who cares about their bad PR?
Yeah.
When, you know, this is the main aircraft. It's not like I have like a million. It's not like toothpaste. I don't have like a million toothpaste to choose from.
This is true.
It's so fucking ridiculous. You guys, we need to, like, this is crazy. Okay. I'm freaking out. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm freaking out because I travel a lot and that is terrifying. That one of the main companies that makes airplanes is focused more on paying off politicians than the safety of their customers.
Passengers. Yeah. That's fucking scary as hell.
Oh God, we got another dark story over here, Daniel. I don't know if you heard about these. It's about the death penalty.
Oh, God damn.
God damn. Okay, this is a really sad, insane story. So, capital punishment, aka the death penalty, is still legal in many states in the United States and obviously other countries as well. But in Alabama, there was a man Alabama. There was a man that was on death row. I don't know for how long. Yeah. But he, I guess, was recently executed, and he went through some kind of torturous execution.
I think I heard about this.
So basically, it went on for 22 minutes.
Yes, I think I did hear about this.
Yeah. So essentially, the Alabama executed Kenneth Eugene Smith on Thursday evening, which is like, I don't know, end of January, using nitrogen gas, which was the first time the method has been used in the United States to kill someone. And then, so basically, it was 22 minutes, around 22 minutes. You know, obviously there were witnesses. Okay. People were witnessing this shit. Smith was fitted with a face mask. He used sign language to say, "I love you" to witnesses in the viewing room. And his final statement said, tonight, Alabama caused humanity to take a step backward. So I guess that means, like, you know, he shouldn't have been executed.
Yeah. After the gas began flowing,
Oh, God.
Smith convulsed on the gurney for several minutes. The state had previously said the nitrogen gas would cause Smith to lose consciousness in seconds and die within minutes. So that's what was supposed to happen. But I guess when it did happen, it was like a 22-minute ordeal. And then someone commented, "I've been to 4 previous executions, and I've never seen a condemned inmate thrash in the way that Kenneth Smith reacted to the nitrogen gas." A journalist who witnessed the execution.
Oh, God,
had
could
stated,
you imagine witnessing 4 executions?
I can't think of anything
what
worse.
What the hell? So yeah, basically it was obviously torturous. It didn't work in the way that they said it was going to work. And I was seeing some people commenting on this, and I realized, I was like, okay, why are we even using different methods here? Yeah. You know, at this point, it's like, and somebody said, why don't we just, like, I know we use these different methods to make it seem more humane or like more dignified, but really the more dignified option would be to just shoot someone in the head. Honestly, right? Because why do we need to go through these like fucking lethal injection? What do we use before? Like electrical chair. And then now like nitrogen gas. Yeah. But really, like probably the fastest, quickest, most effective way, which sounds horrible to say. I'm against the death penalty, so I don't think this should be done. But like the least torturous way would probably be to just put a gun to someone's head. And you have so many guns. But because I feel like they want to make it seem somewhat dignified, even though it's not,
which is ironic.
It's very ironic. Yeah. So they, go through all these, different methods, and it's like, use one of your fucking guns. You love them so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. And get rid of the death penalty. Like, it's so crazy. I don't know.
I just don't know how people can go witness that. Like,
I know what, like, is that a thing?
I personally couldn't. Like, even if it was like somebody that did something really crazy to like people that I cared about and everything else, I could not witness someone being killed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't want to. I just really wouldn't want to. Like,
yeah. Oh, so someone said here, So Maya Foa, joint executive director of the international human rights group Reprieve, said Smith's execution was torture and disputed that the execution was successful. I guess somebody said the execution was successful. I mean, I guess they say that when someone died. Alabama is predictably claiming that this dangerous experimental method is now proven. Executing states are constantly looking for ways to pretend that executions are medical and modern, not brutal and violent. They said that lethal injection was humane. That was a lie. They're claiming that this execution was humane. That was a lie too. Oh, yeah. I mean, so I guess he was convicted in the 1988 murder of Elizabeth Sennett. Sennett's husband, a pastor, allegedly paid Smith and another man $1,000 each to kill her. Oh. So he was like hired as a hitman, essentially.
I wonder when he was convicted. So he was convicted in
1988.
So he's been on death row for all that time.
Yeah.
That's like
35 years.
That's literally the year we were born.
Yeah, literally.
Holy crap.
Yeah, because usually when you're on death row, it's like a very long time as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know, like, I have no idea, but
yeah,
you're on there for a long time. Some people just like end up just dying like of natural causes. Yeah.
God, what a life.
It's
That's
so
terrible.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh God. It's so like, it almost seems
Well,
childish.
Listen to this. A jury had voted 11-1 to sentence Smith to life in prison, but the judge overseeing the case overrode that decision and sentenced him to death.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yep. The practice, great question, Rose. That practice, called a judicial override, has since been eliminated in all 50 U.S. states.
Yeah, because like, what's the point of even a jury if the judge can just override the decision?
Well, exactly.
It's giving the UN and U.S. veto rights.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why have a jury?
It's given, I'm going to give you the option, but not really give you the option.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to choose that, but I'm going to choose for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this, the guy... And again, like, obviously he did something horrible. He shouldn't have killed somebody. But the idea that, like, because you killed somebody, now we got to kill you. Like, it's almost childish, I feel like. I just think it's so, I don't know. Nothing good comes from it. Okay? You're just torturing another person. Mm-hmm. You're using up state resources. You're using up the country's resources. I think like 4% of the time they convict the wrong person.
Yep.
So
there could be times where, the wrong person gets killed.
And there was that guy, like, remember, what's that movie that we watched together? The Green Mile. Yeah. So in that movie, if you guys haven't seen it, there was like a part, spoiler, where somebody is on death row and he's getting executed and he's like suffering through it because something goes wrong. And that was actually modeled after a true story of someone that was also on death row, where like, this was like when they were being electrocuted, I think. Yeah. And I guess they have to use a sponge that's supposed to be wet on your head. But if it's not wet, then I guess it, like, I don't know, fucks shit up. Yeah. And it makes it last longer or something.
Well, because I guess the electricity flows better through water. So if you don't have water there, it becomes like more crackly and stuff.
So then you like suffer more. So this man, I don't know, I can't remember like what the real person's name is, but basically somebody was suffering through that for probably another like 20 minutes or something. Turns out, I think he was exonerated after death. Turns out he didn't do it.
It's crazy. But it's like when people are like spend 50 or like 30 years in prison, get released, and then they're like, oh, actually, we realize you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least they get a chance later, but goddamn.
Like Stephen Avery. Remember he got first convicted?
God. Well, he's still in jail.
I know, it's so crazy. He first got convicted of.
Are we still of that mind that he's innocent?
Well, I don't know. He first got first got convicted of that grape.
Right.
That grape.
Yeah.
And then with the advancement of technology and DNA testing, they realized actually, because they did a test on the girl, I guess, or something. Yeah. And they're like, actually, it's this guy who's a convicted felon who was in that area at the time. It's actually this guy. So you were in prison.
Spent like what, like 14 years?
I can't remember. It was a long time. And then obviously he's sued the state, won. And then miraculously, a dead body appeared on his property.
I want to rewatch it.
Oh God,
I think it will
so
enrage
mad.
You. Yeah, it enraged me the first time.
Yeah.
But then again, we don't know. But at the same time, if there's enough reasonable doubt, you're not supposed to convict this person.
And there was a lot of reasonable doubt in that case, guys. Just saying.
This is the thing. Jury is also just. This whole system is weird. I don't know.
God damn.
Hold on. Yeah. Last story. Have you heard of this one?
Oh God damn. No, I have not heard of this. What might be going on?
So protesters throw soup at Mona Lisa.
I mean, I'm guessing that the Mona Lisa is under a case. Like you can't.
Yeah. So Mona Lisa. Have you seen the Mona Lisa?
I've been to the Louvre. No,
Louvre.
The Louvre.
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 The Louvre.
Louvre. Not the loofah.
I know. Oh my God. Can you imagine? The French people are going to kill me. I've been there, but for some reason I didn't see the Mona Lisa. I didn't go.
See the Mona Lisa?
I know, right?
Are you sure you've been to the Louvre?
Yes, I have.
Oh, when did you go?
I went to Paris, I think it was 2016, I want to say.
I'm sure you saw it, but it's just, okay, so the Mona Lisa is very underwhelming.
Yeah.
It is very small. I mean, obviously, it's not about the size, but it's very, and it's behind.
That's what she said.
Size doesn't matter.
No.
Well, anyway. It's behind this glass case.
Yeah.
So it's covered in the glass, and it's a really small painting. It's covered in the glass, and then there's also a barricade around it so that you can't go that close.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the painting is underwhelming. Obviously, it's it's a famous painting, but when you go visit it, it's not, you don't get the and plus everyone's surrounding it.
Yeah.
There's tons of people because everyone goes to the Louvre to see the Mona Lisa. So it's very much it's just not a good experience necessarily because you're not really there to admire the art. You're just there to kind of be oh, there's the Mona Lisa. Let me take a little picture.
Yeah.
I saw the real thing. Anyway.
It's just wild to me that one painting has become
it's a big deal.
It's the most famous painting in the world.
It basically is, yeah.
Yeah. Which blows my mind because there's so many other better pieces.
But I mean, there's some reasons behind it. Do we think it's, legitimate? Maybe. Is it a little pretentious? I don't know.
Yes.
But basically, environmental protesters have thrown soup. Didn't something similar happen recently? Anyway, at the glass protected Mona Lisa. So yeah, basically it's covered by glass. So really it didn't ruin anything.
Yeah.
Because they probably, predict this shit is going to happen.
Of course, that's why it's in glass.
Exactly.
Just in case, imagine it wasn't in glass and someone threw Starbucks at it or something, or a soup, or
So basically, they threw the soup, calling for the right to healthy and sustainable food. So it's one of the world's most famous artworks. Blah blah blah. The Louvre's of the work was behind protective glass and was not damaged. And basically, two female protesters wearing T-shirts that read "Food Counter Attack" throws the liquid onto the glass, and then they started standing in front of the painting, saying, "What is more important, art or the right to healthy and sustainable food? Your agriculture system is sick. Our farmers are dying at work." Because apparently there's also a lot of shit happening in Europe right now about farmer rights and food systems, and the world's just crumbling.
Oh God, Rose.
So yeah, what do you think of this protest method, Daniel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't
know either.
Because again, I get that they're doing this because they want a lot of visibility.
Yes.
But I often feel, and I don't know, guys, this is just my own opinion, but I often feel like protesters, that when they're doing a protest, they're quite often doing it in maybe not the right area. You know what I mean? In terms of obviously this got a lot of global attention. So actually maybe this was a good example. It's something that's gets people talking. So I think they probably achieved that goal. But I often find for example, there was a protest, and this is a less of an example than this, but the building that we worked in London, that I worked in, there was a big controversy that happened with the cleaning company that worked there.
Right.
So there was a cleaning company that was contracted, and the cleaning company was underpaying its workers. And we were just contracting the cleaning company. So a bunch of their workers got laid off or something, and they started protesting for a couple weeks outside of our office building.
Right, because you were contracting the cleaning company. And you think that was not directed in the right place?
Because really they should have been protesting at the cleaning company
Maybe
itself.
they were also.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been, but they
were all protesting the company because you guys were giving them money.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I mean, yes, but I feel again, I don't even know if we were still using that company at that time.
Right.
I can't remember the whole thing, but I was just kind of I feel it's a little bit. They were asking for better wages or something, and I'm well, our company doesn't dictate what your wages are, But
so, I think I guess I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just feel yes, because I like to. In some ways it makes sense, that I don't know how big your company was.
Yeah.
But, because you can protest at the company that's doing the thing, but are they going to listen to a bunch of protesters, or are they going to listen to another company that's being hounded when they take their contract off the table and lose economic
they get economic repercussions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point, right? It's like, and I don't know about this, okay, about the Mona Lisa thing, but
Yeah.
that I think makes actually maybe more sense because like basically what they're trying to do is take the money off the table for those people.
Yeah.
Because people listen when when they're financially, under attack.
Well, that's the thing. That's the only time they listen.
Exactly.
Like literally.
So it would make actually sense.
Yeah.
Why would they listen to a bunch of protesters
Exactly.
at their fucking,
Like going back to Boeing.
Yeah.
Right? If the government turned around and said, hey, the legislation stands, you have to do this to sell your aircraft, guess what they're going to do? They're going to fucking do it.
Exactly.
Because they're going to want to sell their aircraft.
Money in the fucking government.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. Some people are saying, because obviously like the initial reaction to this Louvre soup throwing situation is like, this is stupid. It's not achieving anything.
Yeah.
But in some ways, it's
got a conversation started.
It's got the conversation started. Exactly. And there are some like reasons behind it, right? Like reasons behind certain protests that happen in this way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily the most effective.
Yeah.
But
do you think that part of it too could come from the symbolism that art has?
I think that's
in terms
part of
of
it.
Like,
Yes.
because especially in France as well, if you guys think about the whole like aristocrat, and you had the whole French Revolution that took place. Again, it was like working class people against the like what were they called, the bourgeoisie?
Yeah, the really rich,
the super rich that would have like fancy art and all this kind of stuff. So it's almost like, I'm not saying this is a perfect example, but they're like saying, okay, like again, what is more important, like this art in this museum or like food, right? Like
it's totally symbolism. I think so. I think that's part of the reason why.
So I guess I'm kind of seeing it more. And I think without getting too doom and gloom, guys.
As you're about to say something really doom and gloom.
But shit's getting scary. Like it's actually getting scary.
Bad.
Like I know we talk about this and like throughout my entire lifetime, there's been like global stories and like earthquakes and all this shit happening. But I do feel like the last like 5 years or so, it's accelerating. Like we're hearing more and more and more, and things are like snowballing. Like even think about like, and I use this as an example, like our winter, for example, has been crazy this year.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah. And like the fact of the matter is, I was like hearing this article, and again, like just digressing a little bit, but they were saying, I think it was on the news or something. They were talking about how the world has like certain, or areas have certain like water tables, which is like the amount of water that's under the ground, right? And one of the issues that we have, because we're not getting a lot of snow that we normally get and all this other stuff, is it's, it makes it for a milder winter, and we're kind of like, yay, like we can kind of like still do things and it's a little bit nicer. But then come summertime, if we have a really hot summer again, it's going to exacerbate the problem of like potential droughts and like, and then that's going to have ripple effects on our farming communities. And, it's already happening, and it's happening in France. I guess their farmers are struggling for whatever reason, guys, we're, and in the meantime, these fucking corporations are doing all these layoffs. And
I know.
Even though they're still wildly profitable. I don't know.
What do we do, Daniels?
I give up.
What?
I'm gonna go.
Do we need to live in the rural area and grow our own food?
I think I'm gonna go live in the mountains. I'm gonna find a plot of land somewhere.
Where are you gonna? You can't grow food in which mountains are you gonna?
You can grow food just about anywhere, Rose. But it depends on the type of food it is.
What are you gonna grow in the Rocky Mountains?
I don't know. All kinds of things. I know that you can grow berries. You can.
That's it. That's basically it.
You can grow,
and the bears are gonna get to the berries before you get to the berries.
We'll see about that. I'll fight them off, okay?
Anyway, on that positive note, of course, Daniel will end with the doom and gloom.
Hey, Rose, you brought it
day.
up. You brought it up.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed our little lessons of the earth.
Yes. Well, Rose, have you learned something today? Have you?
I feel very stupid. That was a very.
I also.
moment.
It's not that I'm like very confident. I'm just like I kind of think we're floating on lava, and there's like a.
You know what those things that you say, and then later on you're like, oh, that was fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm. Was that a moment, Rose, for you?
It was a moment because I knew there was like a bottom to the ocean. So I don't know why.
Rose, there's always
just all water.
Rose, there's always a bottom. Okay.
I mean, of course you'd know that, Daniel. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you learned something today. I sure did.
You did, Rose.
About the Earth's surface.
5th grade science class today, guys. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? We found that out.
Clearly I am not. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast. You get bonus content every single month. You get ad-free content and every episode a week earlier than everybody else. Check that out. Link is in the description.
Yes. And of course, guys, follow us on YouTube. Show us some love in the comments section. Follow us on Instagram at The SaVeg Podcast. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on all the podcasting platforms that you're listening to the podcast on. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.